Guess we aren't playing the opening. All right. Well, that's news to me.
Listen, I was trying to figure it out. I thought I had a loophole. I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't have the loophole yet, but we're getting closer. But yeah, let's go ahead and blame me. Let's go ahead. Josh has a sick background, Dave. Why don't you talk about it?
You can't.
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, the Godfather's back there. I think that's Michael Jordan White water rafting next to him. I don't know. I can't see. I don't know what you guys are looking at. Tell what's back there, Josh.
Dude, you suck. Like, you actually suck. You ruined the whole thing. It's Muhammad Ali. I got a In-N-Out truck. I got Alabama flags.
Nice.
I got the Godfather. I got Capri, which is in Italy, and I got a Ferrari in a pool. And then I got Michael Jordan in the middle.
Where's your Scarface poster in your stripper pole?
It's on the way. Amazon's been delaying it.
Remember in Cribs? Remember that show Cribs? Every house had the same thing. They all had the Scarface poster and the stripper pole. Didn't matter how big the house was.
Yeah.
Damn.
What was the line they used at the end of the show every time? They go, "You don't gotta leave, but you can't stay here." Or what is it? Yeah.
That was it. Pretty much it. That was
the clean version. Yeah.
That was 100% it. All right. Well, welcome everyone to the Bolt Crew podcast. Again, thank you for joining us on a Tuesday, 1 o'clock Pacific time. We're back on Thursday, 1 o'clock Pacific time. Please like and subscribe to the show, and then we get things going. Mario, since we're talking about backgrounds, where are you at right now? Are you in? I'm
in an office in DC.
Okay. This is what threw me off. I'll just say it right now. It's not as bad as it was the other day.
Okay.
But do you remember that scene in Home Alone 2 where the guy figures out that Kevin's been stealing on a fake credit card the entire time and that light goes on above his head? That's what it reminds me of every time I see you in the motion. You're where you are right now. You know what I'm talking about, Josh?
It's just so many good ideas are in my head that it stays on. Yeah. So many good thoughts are flowing through my mind.
All right. So look, a lot going on in the NFL. I got just a random question for you right now, Mario. And this is not me goofing on you. You lived in Chicago for a while. The Home Alone house, okay, it's always for sale. It's always going for like $5 million. I always think it'd be cool as hell to own that house. Did you ever drive by that house when you're there? Was it something to see?
When I lived there, no. But when I was like 5, we drove by it, and we drove by like that and Michael Jordan's house that he didn't live in anymore. It's just like the gate with the 2-3 on it. Yeah. And I mean, I was never fascinated by Home Alone. Like, Home Alone never got me that bad. I always thought it was kind of like, all right, a kid just, probably punks some alcoholics trying to steal something. That's nice. Like, I don't know why. It just kind of missed me. So I never like got the, oh my God. Like, I don't know. That missed me.
It's not a must-see Christmas movie for you every year? None of those?
I honestly don't think I've seen it since – I've probably seen it once in my life. It's not on my Christmas movie list.
All right. I'm kind of curious what you're all about. Okay. There you go. Hey, I want to start the show off with a guy that's been a topic on this show since we started. All right, we started this show back in the summer of 2022, but we talk about this guy being a potential Charger all the time. And now you're hearing more and more that Kyle Pitts is going to be traded. Is Kyle Pitts a guy that you still have interest in, or it was one of those where, thank goodness we didn't trade for Kyle Pitts?
What's the asking price?
Don't know what the asking price is right now. I'll tell you right now, there are 3 teams that are interested in him, okay? The 3 teams that are interested in Kyle Pitts, at least the rumors are that he could be going to the Cowboys, Giants, or Jaguars. Last year, he had 47 receptions with 4 touchdowns. Came to the league in 2021, and by all accounts of what we thought, many people thought he was going to be a major disappointment.
Okay, so when you hear a guy that's in trade discussions, I think you should look at the other teams that are interested. Do these teams make good decisions? Do you want to be like the Jacksonville Jaguars, Dave? Do you want to be like the New York Giants, Mario? Because I don't want to be like the Dallas Cowboys. So when I hear these bad teams are interested in Kyle Pitts, it turns me off. And Kyle Pitts, what happened? If we would have had this show when Kyle Pitts was getting drafted out of Florida, I would have sat here and told you he is the greatest tight end of all time.
Yep, getting my jersey.
Not. Yeah, I mean, dude, when he was at Florida, he was insane. Like, unguardable. Gets drafted high. Everybody thinks he's going to be the man. He is not the man. And then you hear that he's lazy and he can't get open. So I'm turned off. If this was 3 years ago, I would have said yes. Today, I say no.
kind of with you. He was a guy that every single offseason we go into it and go, this could be Kyle Pitts' breakout year. If you're like a fantasy football player or you're just sitting there going, all right, I'm going to draft him with my 4th pick because this is the year he's going to go off. Arthur Smith would like stand up there at the podium looking like a weirdo with no chin, just going, hey, Kyle Pitts, we got to feed him. We got to get the ball to him more. And then it just never happened. And now what'd you say,
right.
Dave?
No,
Yeah,
you're right. They couldn't get him the ball.
He's Mr. Potential. That's what he is. He's Mr. Potential and like nothing else. It's like Patrick Williams.
It's funny how certain guys in this league are like that. And I can't tell why that happens. Like why are there certain guys that jump into this league from day one and they're one of the best players in the league right from the very beginning, right out of college, into the NFL, and they're one of the best players in this league. And then there are guys like Kyle Pitts, and I'll throw another tight end out there that I misjudged. I thought was going to be great. I thought OJ Howard was going to be great. Seen him show up big in big time games, and then OJ Howard had just kind of a nothing career. And so when you look at a guy like Pitts, would look like a can't miss. I mean, Kyle Pitts, I thought was going to be what Brock Bowers is, if not better, and then just nothing. And so you wonder, going back to that line that Tony Gonzalez used to say, more than 80% of the guys in this league don't care except for the paycheck. As long as they can stay on an NFL roster, that's what matters most. Wins and losses don't matter. Numbers don't matter. It's about the paycheck, and that's it, which is heartbreaking for NFL fans.
Okay, you look at Kyle Pitts' numbers, there's just nothing, Mario. You can say he's improved in his touchdowns. He went from 1 touchdown in 2021 to 4 touchdowns in 2024. I mean, there's nothing there. I mean, nothing at all. The guy is just not very good. Actually, the most receptions he's had is in 2021 when he had 68 for 1,000 yards. He has declined big time since then. I'm off. And I don't think Conklin's great by any stretch of the imagination, but it seems like Conklin busts his ass at least. Kyle Pitts takes way too many plays off.
And maybe you can make the argument that like he hasn't had a quarterback that's really been there to help him kind of take that next step. Kirk Cousins comes in last year, really struggles, looks like a shell of himself. You have Penix that comes later on, too late to really do something. Then before that, you have Desmond Ridder, who's just beyond god-awful, was never going to be an NFL quarterback. So he never really had a chance to get someone to throw him the football. But on the flip side of that, you can go, well, Brock Bowers had literally no one to throw him the ball either. And look at the numbers he put up in his rookie season. Arguably, he should have been offensive rookie of the year if Jaden McDaniels wasn't around and if it wasn't a quarterback award to begin with. So Pitts, maybe there is a way where he goes to the right situation and he does become what he's supposed to be. But like you said, Josh, what is that asking price for Atlanta? Because if I'm Atlanta, I'm starting it pretty high because just of that weird upside that there is. And then I'm going to make you talk me down from there. And, for the Chargers position, I don't really think that's an area they should look towards. And you got to pay him right away, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in right here. I'm going to jump in right here. So He has a club option this year. 10.8 is the cap hit. And then he's an unrestricted free agent in 2026. So you'd have him this year, and then he's a free agent next year. 10.8, Dave. I mean, holy hell.
It's a lot of money for 47 receptions. Mike G says here he'd be 1,000-yard tight end, 1,000-yard tight end with Herbert. Chargers offense would be designed. I mean, Herbert can't give him the ball. His career's over. At the same time, when you look at what the trade would be, guys, just while you guys were talking, just looking last NFL draft, the Falcons asking price was a second or a third. That was turned down. So that falls dramatically now as you're into June. You're looking at, you could probably get Kyle Pitts for somewhere at 5, 6, or 7. And again, do you want him? Is he worth a 5, 6, or 7? Are you happy with what you have, staying where you're at? At the same time, if you're a front office, let's say like the Chargers, are you looking at a guy that the Atlanta Falcons are either that bad at doing their job of making this guy reach his potential? Are you looking at it, it's the player's fault, and we have a culture here, and he's not a guy that would fit into our culture because he hasn't figured it out since 2021.
Rashawn Slater's money. That's the thing that pops in my head. He hasn't got paid yet. I mean, you have no idea what your money is yet because Rashawn Slater hasn't gotten paid, and I imagine they're going to add on some more pieces during the offseason. It's just too much money for me. It's not even the draft picks. If you had to trade a 6th-round pick for Kyle Pitts and he wasn't getting paid as much, I would say yes. But It's the money more for me, Mario, than the draft picks. And we already know how Joe Ortiz feels about these draft picks, right? He's not going to trade them away unless he's guaranteed he's going to get a player that he loves. And I can't imagine that he loves a player that doesn't give his all on every play.
That's a fantastic point. Unless it's someone they absolutely adore or they really wanted in the draft process, just couldn't get into, it's very rare and just doesn't make a lot of sense for Joe or Jim to go, yeah, we're going to go trade for this guy. These are guys that really, really love their picks. They really love their assets, and they try to keep all those together, right? They're not the guys that, hey, I'm going to trade, 2 second-round picks for this guy, or I'm going to trade away this first-round pick. And that's just not how they go, like the homegrown it. And we have a Slater situation to figure out. And also, let's look at how they did in last year's draft class. All of those guys worked out. And once Junior Colson has a big bounce-back year, and I can kind of tell Dave to kiss my ass, it's going to look even better. So we got a tight end in this class. And yes, it was in a later round, but what if he ends up being something really good? And then you just wasted a 6th-round pick for Kyle Pitts? Do we really need that? I would argue no. So, Dave, I am out on it. But I don't blame for any team going after Kyle Pitts and making it happen. But my Lord, if I'm him, if my options are Jaguars, Cowboys, or Giants, I'm just going to take my ball and go home.
So money's not really a factor, by the way, for the Chargers, right? We all know how much money the Chargers have. It's just like, you want to spend smart money, especially in this league. I mean, we talk about it in sports all the time. Are you spending smart money? If you can basically become really dumb really fast by wasting the money you have. Ask Timothy Mozgov. I mean, it happens. Teams, franchises do it. But when you look at we'll never, as Laker fans, we're never going to forget that. That was our big 1201 signing. But overall for the Chargers, he's not the guy that's the difference maker. I think on the Chargers, I'm looking, at other key parts. I'll throw another guy out there that people still think it's 2016. It's Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey is going to be available. It's $24 million a year. In my opinion, Jalen Ramsey is not a guy that I need to put on this Charger team. Jalen Ramsey hasn't been the player that he was with the Rams 5 years ago or that he was with the Jaguars. It's a tremendous amount of money. I'm out on Jalen Ramsey too.
Completely out on Jalen Ramsey. His best days are far behind him. I have no interest in Jalen Ramsey whatsoever. And I like Tarheeb still and Cam Hart. I want these guys to get as much playing time as possible, second years into their career. I want to see some of these younger guys play in the defensive backfield, Mario.
Yeah, we have young studs at corners right now. I want to see them develop more. I don't know if Jalen Ramsey coming in too. At this point in his career, does the Los Angeles Chargers make sense for him? Does him coming in here and going, yes, this team is ready to win now, but like, how ready are they to win now? Like, this team can't, take out the Chiefs twice. We can't even do it once. Why would Jalen Ramsey want to do that? I think another option for him maybe would be, a Buffalo Bills type that maybe makes more sense for him. If he wants to get into that crowded locker room with the Philadelphia Eagles, maybe that's a better option for him to go in, call up the Commanders and see if you can squeeze your way into there. That all seems like better options for him at this point in his career. I don't see Los Angeles maybe doing it. Maybe a reunion back to Los Angeles Rams. I'm just spitballing teams. I'm not, I haven't done 1,000 dive research on what teams really need corners, but all those seem like more logical options than the Los Angeles Chargers.
Isaiah Francis wrote in the comments here, he said, what if you move Jalen Ramsey to safety? Just back in the day, that's the way it used to be done, by the way, in the NFL. Once you couldn't play corner anymore, they just moved you to safety. Now they actually draft safeties, guys that played that position right off the bat. I love the idea of Jalen Ramsey as a safety. Like, I think he would be ridiculous. He'd be really good at that position.
Great tackler. The first person that pops in my head is Charles Woodson. The difference is he's not Charles Woodson. I just think Charles Woodson was more adaptable than Jalen Ramsey. I'm sure he'll be an okay safety, but for $24 million a year, you're going to take a chance on an older Jalen Ramsey playing a position he hasn't played before?
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot. For $24 million, hey, we're going to move you to safety at this point in your, like, that's where I'm like,
just looking at cap space, which is always fun. I have no idea how anybody does the calculations on this. It gives me a headache. The Bills have the least amount of cap space in the NFL right now, at $1.6 million. The Chargers have $24 million in dead money. They have $26 million in open cap space. Put you guys right on the spot, okay? Can you name the 3 Chargers that are making over $1 million in 2025 in dead money?
God dang it. You know, I hate this. We do this once a year and it hurts every time.
Any guesses? I'll give you the figures. One guy's making 11 million this year in dead money. One guy's making 2.6 million in dead money, and one guy's making 1.1 million in dead money.
All right, who's the 11 million? Mario, I have no idea.
Any guesses?
I thought you just gonna go Bosa. Yeah,
Joey Bosa's making 11. We got Corey Lindsley making 2.6.
He deserves it.
And then Gus Edwards making 1.1.
Gus Edwards, that one hurts too. Look, Joey Bosa is the gift that keeps on giving, right? Or taking. He's the gift that keeps on taking. It is so frustrating. The funny thing about Jalen Ramsey was when the Chargers got Bosa, the talk was in that draft, do you grab Bosa or do you grab Jalen Ramsey? It'd be weird to see Jalen Ramsey right after you get rid of Bosa, that Ramsey actually becomes a Charger. Things did not work out for the Dolphins in that move. I remember the Dolphins, how excited they were to get Jalen Ramsey. He was the missing piece to take them to the next level, and it's been a complete disappointment. One of the reasons why the Dolphins on the decline is because they made that move.
Yeah, I mean, you look at these organizations that have so much money, so much dead money on their roster. It's crazy, dude. I'll throw some teams out there where it's just out of control. You got the Eagles, I mean, Super Bowl champs. They got 72 million in dead money. You got the Saints, 52 million. You got the Rams, 50 million. You got the Browns, 61 million. It is much higher than almost every other team. You got the Jets with 62 million. Holy hell. Seahawks, $67 million. Can't spend it. There you go. Gone.
Damn.
Sad. Can't take it to your grave.
Anyway, that's just some of the things that are going on. And one other thing I want to point out too, and I know we have some stuff to get to as far as other NFL teams, but so the Detroit Lions, we talk about them all the time because we talk about exciting teams in the league or teams that can take the next step. The Lions, one of those teams in the NFL who have never been to a Super Bowl. Their center retires yesterday at age 29. So that's it. It's over. Got to take care of my body. My body's not responding. And he says he's out. And so for the Lions, you talk about you lose 2 interior offensive linemen. You lost 1 to the Titans in free agency. You lost your center in retirement. You lose your offensive coordinator. You lose your defensive coordinator. If you're a Detroit Lions fan and you have to be thinking, I can't wait for football season to begin because we're at the cusp of winning a Super Bowl, that's a major blow to your fan base and to what you think your team was going to be. Am I right?
You're definitely right. And I don't know if you mentioned this, but Aiden Hutchinson, right? Your best defensive player is coming off a major injury. There's a lot of question marks with that team. With that being said, I still think they're the best team in that division, Mario. I'm not sold on the Packers. I'm definitely not sold on the Bears yet. And then the Vikings have J.J. McCarthy at quarterback. At this point in time, I would still say they're the heavy favorites in that division.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm starting to think that this team's going to finish third in the division.
Wow.
Like a little bold take for you for 2025. Look, they lose both their coordinators. They're out the door. Remember, Jared Goff was benched by Sean McVay. The Lions offense without Frank leading the, O-line at center. When he was out there, yards per play, they're third in the NFL. Success rate, they're fourth. EPA per play, they're tied for second. When he was not out there, they were 13th in yards per play. Success rate dropped to 29th. And EPA per play dropped to 27th. They don't have an easy schedule. It's very, very rough. They don't really have any time for any weeks off throughout the season. Is it, Stan Campbell, this just rah guy? I'd take 5,000 scoops of creatine and 4,000 cups of coffee every morning. Or is he good X's and O's? We shall see. Is Jared Goff actually a good quarterback, or is he just benefited from one of the best offensive geniuses we've seen in the past couple of years? And then he's going to, really regress because he's getting pressure in his face because, the guys aren't open as they usually are, and this game's just not really there for him. There is a way, there is a universe, I think, Dave, where the Lions really struggle in this division just because of the monsters that are in it.
Give me your rankings right now for the division.
What kind of rankings? What are you talking about? Third in the division? What do we got?
So you have Green Bay.
Okay. You're picking Green Bay 1 right now?
I'd probably put Green Bay 1.
Why?
This is my, bold assumption. It's I wouldn't be surprised if Lions fall off. Packers slip in there. I think Vikings do take probably a step back because J.J. McCarthy, rookie QB, we'll see how that goes. So I bet they go 4th. I think Bears can go second with all the talent that they have, and the Lions go third.
Wow.
How good is that pass rush too, by the way? How good is it? You tell
What
me.
team are you talking about?
How good's that secondary?
Lions?
Lions. How good's that secondary?
Dude, the Bears don't have a
They didn't-
quarterback.
Bears have a
That's what-
quarterback.
Who?
Yeah, they signed
Caleb
somebody?
Williams. Are you deaf? Caleb Williams.
He's not good.
Okay. Well,
Is he good?
we can when the NFL season comes along and he's top 10 and top 5 in passing yards. We can have this conversation again.
All right, dude. Let's go through it real quick. Better
Hold
quarterback.
on.
Lions.
Hold on. Mario just dropped, are you deaf, without saying his name one time.
I know. I just opened the door and caught that.
Are you deaf? He never even said the name.
JT, if you clip that, you're getting fired.
Yeah, JT's he's part of the show now. Not here.
Yeah.
You can't see him, but he's here in the background. Okay, let's go through it real quick. Lions and Bears. You got Jared Goff, Caleb Williams. Jared Goff. You got the running backs. I'm not even going to go into it.
You think so?
Jared Goff's better than Caleb Williams. Not even close.
Jared Goff's the best quarterback in the division still, right?
100%.
We don't know what JJ is, but JJ also has a top 3 receiving core, maybe 1 receiving core to throw to with a great offensive mind. So even if he's not that good, he's going to look better than we think he is.
He has good weapon. I mean, he has Addison and Jefferson, which is good, but we'll see what he is.
Fantastic.
He wasn't anything at Michigan. Running backs, you got to give it to the Lions. Offensive line, you got to give it to the Lions.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
The Lions have one of the best offensive lines in all of football.
Did you not hear what I just said with the stats without Frank?
But they just lost two of their offensive linemen.
Who did the Bears have? Drew Dahlman?
I
Okay.
didn't say
just
Bears.
rebuilt their O-line.
Packers.
They literally
Bears-
just rebuilt their O-line this offseason.
Josh, give me
Bears
your four.
historically can't coach the O-line or pass
Who
the
are your
ball.
Who are your 4 right now? If you had to sit there and bet your house to get the 4 in order, who do you get?
Me? I already know
Yep.
what it's going to be. It's going to be the Lions, the Packers, the Bears, and the Vikings.
That's what I have.
Okay. We'll see
I got
who's
that.
right.
Let's bet money on it.
Well, we actually will.
All right,
but
well, we can bet money on it. You ready for this? I got a deal for you, wise guy.
Okay, what is it?
If my ranking, JT, you can clip this one. JT is our newest intern, provided by Amos Gelb of the Washington Media Institute. Shout out to him. He's a Broncos fan, so comment below your least favorite Bronco. Shout out JT. If I win, you have to eat 12 McDonald's snack wraps throughout the show. And then if I lose, I'll do the same.
what's
Is
a
this supposed
snack
to be a
wrap?
bad thing?
Dude,
Yeah,
snack wraps are back, dude. I'm freaking fired up for it. I've been thinking about it all day.
What's a snack? I never heard of a snack wrap.
It's at McDonald's. It's like a little
Yeah.
chicken with lettuce, some, I think, ranch or mayo, some cheese.
Really?
Oh my God, dude. Now we're talking.
Man,
You're on. 100%.
Deal.
how many? How many do you have to eat?
12.
All right, hold that. We've got to see this thing pay off.
Oh, yeah.
Good God.
JT, write that down.
Yeah.
Right? You got to let JT know
Watch-
that we do this a lot. We throw crazy food wagers out there.
Yeah.
At the end of the
Watch
show, let's
J-
bring JT on. I want to bring
Yeah,
JT on
yeah.
at the end of the show.
Yeah. By the way,
Watch JT like not even be there. He like quit.
By the way, I had an epiphany this week that I needed to change my diet. You know, I grabbed one of those sprayers to spray out your keyboard on your computer. I'm not joking. At least 3 pieces of cheddar cheese from soft tacos from Taco Bell came out. That's not good. That's not good. Like, I'm having way too much Taco Bell. I gotta slow it down.
When did you
I
make
like-
this decision?
That's disgusting.
Well, I didn't eat it. I just realized I'm eating too much Taco
No,
Bell.
no, but when did
That
you make
cheese-
the decision? I need to be
That's-
healthier.
That's
Saying,
way
when
too
did
much.
you make
When I
the
saw
decision?
the
I need to be
cheese fly out of my keyboard, maybe that was it. Going.
So that was yesterday, right? During the
that
day.
was yesterday. Yeah.
So what did you eat for dinner last night? Share with the class. Since you made that
Yeah,
decision.
Josh knows what I ate for dinner. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. All right. Literally went through Kentucky Fried Chicken drive-through, and all I got was a thing of mashed potatoes and a thing of coleslaw. No chicken, no nothing else. I just got the mashed potatoes and coleslaw and ate that. And the potatoes came with the gravy already in it. I didn't even know they gave you the option of not adding it yourself. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna have mashed potato soup for dinner. It was delicious, not gonna lie, but probably not the healthiest thing.
Probably not the healthiest thing.
Well,
Yeah,
you guys
you
can probably
think?
hear me getting fatter, as they say in Tommy Boy. I can hear you getting fatter.
Unbelievable.
I can't believe you're typing on your keyboard and cheese is coming out. That is the most
I blew it out with the
horrifying
aerosol
thing.
can. Yeah.
But why? Like, how does that even happen?
I don't know. I was not bragging. I just told you I got to fix my habits. That's my point. Like this wasn't good.
When you lay in bed, does like grease pop up? Like what else is going on, man?
No, not that way. I just telling you. I didn't go to Taco Bell today. Lunchtime passed.
Yeah,
I got a salad sitting on the counter when the show's over.
Yeah, Uber Goober Jock says, "What the f is wrong with you?"
A lot. Why do people ask that question? Stop asking that question. It pisses me off. I get that question asked me about 4 times a day from family members and people that barely know me. When people ask me what is wrong with me, a lot. That is the answer. A lot.
What are you gonna have for dinner tonight?
I haven't thought about it. I don't know. I gotta fix it. It's not gonna be Taco Bell. It's not gonna be McDonald's. They won't let me in anymore. But yeah, that's a whole another story. Yeah.
We're not fixing it this weekend. We're eating our asses off.
I'm eating my ass off this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit Milwaukee. Then I'm hitting Chicago. The White Sox are supposed to have the best stadium food of all time. Then I'm going to eat, of course, deep dish pizza on Saturday night in Chicago. And then we'll go and hit Skyline Chili in Cincinnati. Even though I know it's not great, Josh has to try it out. And, of course, I'll have my share. Probably have about 4 of those chili dogs.
It's okay. It's not bad, but don't,
When in Rome. When in Rome.
Continue. No, it's an expression. Let's get through these chats. We got 5 here, so
sorry.
Let's jump through these. Sean Bergen, $10 says, "What's up, boys? Just wanted to share the love. I got engaged on Sunday. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Nice job. Congratulations. That's right.
She got engaged on Sunday. She also gifted me week 5 tickets for the Commanders game the same day. Laugh out loud. See you all there. At least, what does UCE mean? Am I missing something? Uncle Dave. Does that mean Uncle Dave?
I guess so.
All right. See y'all there. At least Uncle Dave. I'm going to try to be there. That's the one game I do really want to go to is the Commanders Chargers. I want to go to the Nashville game as well when they come to Tennessee.
What a keeper.
Yeah. Dude, what a girl you got.
Yeah, that's a winner.
Great girl.
Amazing.
Wait, did she give the tickets? I'm done. No, did she give the tickets before the ring? Did this happen to be a coincidence?
He got on one knee and she's like, yes, but also I have these tickets.
Yeah.
Check your phone. Check your app. Yeah.
She's like, yes, I do, but do you want to go to the week 5 game of Commanders Chargers? The wedding can't be this weekend.
That's amazing. I love that. AK, here we go. $4.99 says, Uncle Dave, question, please. When has the Bills and Ravens, AK killing me. What have the Bills and Ravens done in the playoffs to scare us? We cannot beat them. They've done nothing. Josh is afraid. Go ahead.
We called you a chicken.
That's fine. Not the first, won't be the last.
Do we can beat anybody? That's how I feel. I feel this team can beat anybody, right? Any given Sunday, I think that they can beat anybody. It's important to me, though, that we have home games. I know it sounds ridiculous and you have to win your division, but until the Chargers win the division and they get a chance to get some of these home games, I do not want to go to Baltimore or Buffalo in the cold. I don't want to play in the snow.
No, I don't either. Chargers don't do great in the cold. Most teams don't play well in the cold if they're not playing in the cold often. Chargers barely ever play in the cold. I'm not afraid of any team, AK. I'm just saying it's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy at all. And what have they done? Well, the Ravens, actually, you can make an argument. They haven't really done a lot. But the Bills have been to a couple AFC championships, has had the Chiefs on the ropes. We haven't even got them to the ropes. We just keep getting knocked in the face.
Yeah, we don't even get to the ropes.
Yeah.
Sean Bergen, $10 says, also Rashawn is dealing with a divorce, and we all know he isn't signing until that's finalized. That's true. That girl ain't getting a goddamn cent. I think behind closed doors, the Chargers know what's up. For sure. I absolutely.
Sean mentions engagement and divorce in the same day.
Dude, Mario put that one up first, and it threw me off because
that's my bad. Well, dude, when I first read this, I read it as I just saw dealing with divorce, and I was like, God, dude, already divorced, Sean? Like, Jesus Christ, man.
You got engaged 5 minutes ago. What happened?
Yeah, what happened? Speaking of that, there was someone I knew that I grew up with that they got engaged, and then a week later they got unengaged because she got the guy getting some photos that from another lady. And I was just like, wow. Talk about week of fun to week of no fun.
Damn.
Yeah, tough go.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I thought it'd be funnier, but that wasn't funny at all. Just sad. All right.
I can make that story funnier. Want to make that
Go
story
ahead.
funnier for you?
No.
I got a better one. I got to share it. Josh shaking his head. I had a buddy of mine who was engaged to this girl for whatever. This is the love of his life girl. But the one night stand girl who he hooked up with while he was engaged, he slept with the girl in his passenger seat. Okay. The next night he goes out with the girl he's engaged to. And when they get back in the car after dinner and a movie, all of a sudden the windows start to fog up. And there are 2 size 5 feet on the inside of that windshield that do not fog up. And it was hard to explain that. Why are there 2 size 5 footprints on the inside of his windshield? And that was the end of that engagement.
Dude, that is the worst.
Oh, he said it was
luck
a
I've ever
nightmare.
heard.
He said it happened in front of him. He's like, dude, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't stop it. I couldn't stop it. It was like every line just came out right there in those 2 size 5 feet on the windshield.
God wanted that girl to find out. God was like, dude, you're never getting away with this.
Yeah, it was a bad deal.
Jose M $5 says, do you think with better receivers that can get separation will help the interior offensive line with less time in pass protection? Absolutely. Who is it?
Who are these receivers you speak of?
Yeah, we know Ladd can do it. Who else can do it? Trey Harris yet to be seen. Mike Williams, not going to count on him to get separation at this point in his career. Who's going to do it? Do we have an answer?
I mean, we'll see what Trey Harris is. Like, he could do that pretty quickly, like right away. We can hope for that. Mike Williams doesn't have the best history in the Charger uniform doing that in the past couple of years, so it's going to have to be Ladd, and it's going to have to be Trey.
What about QJ? You see these
He can get
for
separation.
third year in a row.
Catch it at the end. He can get the separation.
Who?
QJ can separate. He just can't catch it when you need him to catch the ball.
Just doesn't attack the football.
He doesn't do a great job of getting separation.
Better than Mike Williams. Mike Williams is the throw it high guy. Just throw it high. That's all he is now, right?
He is. Mike Williams is like the anti, get open quick guy. Just throw it up.
That's it.
We'll see what Mike Williams is. B Hannon $5. You guys are gonna love this. What is your favorite HBO series outside of The Sopranos?
Oh, HBO series. Okay, it's funny. Josh and I were just talking about Sopranos before the show. Love it. I've seen it at least 10 times.
Can I say a show that I think sucks?
I know what it is. Easy. What? Go ahead.
White Lotus misses me. Just, I don't know why. I'm like, it kind of sucks.
I haven't seen it.
I don't think it's White Lotus.
You
HBO?
are not going to like it, Josh. I can tell that right now.
I'm not going to watch it. So
yeah.
Succession wasn't bad on HBO.
My favorite HBO show outside of The Sopranos, and I think it's almost just as it might be just as good as Sopranos. I think
it wasn't on HBO, but yeah.
What
is
Game of Thrones?
No, Game of Thrones. Okay, I thought you were going to go Breaking Bad. I thought you were going to say
Game of Thrones is fantastic.
Okay,
I think it's great.
I'm gonna go The Wire.
That's a good one.
Incredible show. I'm on Righteous Gemstones right now. And that's really good. I gotta skip some parts because it's so uncomfortable, but it's so funny.
Righteous Gemstones is great. It is great. Yeah, I've seen them all. Yeah, they're
Uber Goober Jack with Watchmen. That's a great one too.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's on there. All right.
Yeah. Curb Your Enthusiasm is one of my favorite shows of all time.
It's a good question. I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right.
The Wire. By the way, I've never seen The Wire. I saw one episode. And I just joined the show too late. And when I see those big ass computers with the, big backing on the computer screens, I'm like, how old is this show? Like, this is before the iPhone or anything. Like, this show is old. I was out. I was like, I don't want to go back to like whatever 1997. When the hell was that show? When did that show come out?
I think it was right after Sopranos. Like in the midst of the Sopranos. I think it was like 03 it started, maybe, or 02.
They got those big ass computer monitors. It feels like I'm watching an old episode of Law and Order.
When were pagers? What was pagers run? Because there's pagers in there.
In the 90s?
Oh, maybe I'm way off.
Okay. Yeah, I was out. Sorry.
All right. We got Sean Bergen, $5 says she gave them to me after my best friend's pro rugby game in New England. Not that loud.
Okay.
Wow. Jeez. Pro rugby game.
What a catch.
Yeah.
$5 from Young West. Who's our starting 3 receivers that start game 1? And do you buy the QJ hype? Laugh out loud. Can't even play rock, paper, scissors with QJ because he got no hands. I feel pretty confident, honestly, on the top 3 guys. I'd be shocked if it wasn't these 3 people. Ladd, QJ, Trey Harris.
Oh, not Mike Williams, huh?
I think when you go through camp and he does
one?
everything, yeah,
Game one?
I just don't think he's going to last. I
Okay.
think he just gets hurt, doesn't look good. What do you think?
I have Trey Harris out, Mike Williams game 1. This game 1.
I have Mike Williams starting too.
We'll
see though.
What do you guys think? Let us know. Miguel Alvarez 499 says, any update on which game y'all going to? My rant is I never got my Ladd jersey from the first place Fantasy. I hate sore losers.
Was that from us?
No.
Oh.
I paid from his league. He's probably saying from his league.
Copy.
Okay. Yeah, we pay off, man.
Yeah, I pay out.
Remember when Dave jinxed me?
I did. Good.
Yeah,
I do feel bad about that.
Hope
You
you
had
do.
it locked up. I'm never doing that again, Dia. I'm sorry. That was ridiculous.
All right, let's get to the title of the show, Mario. Why don't you lead us?
Alrighty. So ESPN came out with this article, and it listed the 3 teams that improved the most this year. In the first, I'll just rip off the 3 teams they did. 1 is our rival, the team that we hate the most. Even our intern JT's like, dude, this team's blows. And that's the Las Vegas Raiders. Geno Smith, obviously an NIQB. They get Pete Carroll, Ashton Genty at running back. Their offense is pretty big. With Brock Bowers also in there as well. They have the Chicago Bears with Ben Johnson. They revamped their O-line. People kind of like their draft. I think they should have got a running back. Then you have the New England Patriots, also really stocked up on their O-line. They also added some cornerbacks. They also added Mike Vrabel to their coaching staff and finally let go of a Bill Belichick wannabe. So these 3 teams, Dave, which one do you think improved the most? And do any of these 3 teams do you think make the playoffs?
Great question. No, I don't think I think the Patriots improved the most. I know we give Mario's a hard time on the Bears just because his family in Chicago. If I had to rank them, I'd go Patriots have the best chance of making the postseason just because of the division they're in. Chicago Bears are in a very tough division. I do like the Bears coaching staff, and I like what the Bears have. It's all in Caleb Williams' hands right now if he can be a quality NFL quarterback. The Raiders, even though the last 2 years they've drafted the best tight end and the best running back, it's just not enough. And all the talk about Geno Smith being like he's another coach in the room, I don't even know if that's a good thing. Maybe because he's as old as every coach in the room. I'm not a fan. Exactly what the Raiders did. They're in a tough division. Don't expect them to make huge leaps this year. But I think the Patriots have done the most with having a new culture and being in a horrible division.
Yeah, I second that. I think the Patriots are the most improved team in the NFL. Unfortunately, I hate the Patriots. Even when they suck, I still hate the Patriots. Another team I'll throw in there that I think is going to be much improved, also in a terrible division, is the Carolina Panthers. I like that they got McMillan, another receiver for Bryce Young to throw to. I don't know if they win the division. Some people are picking them to make the playoffs. I'm not going to go that far, but I think they are going to be much improved from last year. At the end of last year, they were challenging the Chiefs and the Eagles, some of the best teams in the NFL. I think they're going to make a huge jump this year.
I second with you on the Panthers. I was a little too early on them last year. I thought maybe they can make kind of a step, and that division is so piss poor. Wouldn't surprise me if they did, but I'm not really going to bet on them right now. I'll probably get around to it on them to take that division or even make the playoffs. The Raiders just fascinate me in terms of they did a lot to compete right now, but did they do a lot to have a good future? Like Pete Carroll's not your coach of the future. The guy's older than dirt. Geno Smith's not your QB of the future. He's a QB for 2 to 3 years. He's a very strong bridge QB. What do you have right now that's going to set you up for 5 or 10 years down the road where you're going to be a really solid team and you have a solid foundation and you're going to be able to take out maybe Mahomes, take out Herbert, or take out like a Bo Nix, what do you have? Because I really don't think you have anything. You have a team that's going to win you 8 games this year. That's fantastic. At most 10, and then you're probably going to get your ass kicked in the first round of the playoffs. That's like kind of your team ceiling, and everyone goes, well, they're feisty. Well, how many years do you want to be feisty? Do you really want that for the next 2? And then you kind of have to do this whole thing again because you don't have anything sustainable. That's what I don't get about the Raiders, and that's why I wouldn't say they're the most improved. Like the Patriots and Bears, I think they made moves where in 5 years we will be competing at an extremely high level, maybe even winning our division. We're not just going all in on these next 2 years to really compete in battle. We're laying a foundation for years to come where we're, putting up trophies, or every offseason and every season we're competing for a Super Bowl, similar to the level that the Ravens and the Bills and the Chiefs are at right now, and the Eagles.
Agree. I mean, agree. So when you look at those 3 teams, I mean, we obviously talent-wise, the Bears have the most pieces put together, right? The Patriots are basically not a team that you'd say would win a Super Bowl right now with what they have, but at the same time, they're moving in the right direction, a weak division. With the Raiders, if they got that big-time quarterback, like let's say the Raiders 3 years in a row could get the number 1 tight end, the number 1 running back, and then pull off an Arch Manning deal, all of a sudden you go, man, the Raiders' future is really good.
No. What?
You
Why?
wouldn't.
No,
You
because
wouldn't say.
I think the Raiders and Bears are in the same situation. Like, even if you do improve a lot, you're still in a very good division where it's going to be really hard to win. And how do we know Arch Manning is that good? He came and win the starting quarterback job at Texas. And the quarterback ahead of him, Quinn Ewers, is a late round draft pick. What does that say about Arch Manning?
But they didn't want him to start right away, though. Like, the whole point of him going to Texas was for him to sit. Like, the Mannings were very clear, like, we don't want him to play. And the whole thing of him even coming out this, like, next year, he's not coming out this year. He's going to wait another year.
Yeah,
like,
but he wasn't a freshman last year. He wasn't a freshman last year.
Sophomore, but still, the whole thing was they did not want him to play. And why would you start him over Quinn Ewers when he's an experienced guy? Are you going to just toss Archie in there, like, to try to win a title right away?
Okay, that is a great question right there. Okay, when is the right time to play that guy? I was thinking about this a lot this week because you look at the situation Alabama had a few years ago when you had Jalen Hurts, who's already been to a national championship game as a freshman, and then you had Tua, and Alabama made the choice of Tua's the guy, and Hurts stays for a year, and then he leaves for Oklahoma. Okay, they made the tough decision. In Texas, sometimes it's tough to make the tough decision. Like when Arch Manning played, he was outstanding, but yet they still went back to Quinn Ewers. Why would you do that move? Is it because you're afraid of shaking up the locker room? I mean, Josh is right. One quarterback is going to be drafted in the first round, and the other one is taken at the end of the draft. Look, the head coach at Texas is an offensive genius, a quarterback genius. Josh played for him. So why don't you make the tough decision and put the best guy in the job? It seems like Arch Manning, as a sophomore season, was the better quarterback.
From everything that, even what Mario just said about Arch Manning, I think indications are showing that he's going to stay 2 years at Texas. I mean, both Peyton and Eli played all 4 years in college. I don't think there's no guarantee if you're the Raiders, you're going to get Arch Manning or anybody in the NFL.
You know what? I think you guys are right. I'm looking at all these different, 2026 drafts, and Arch Manning's not in there.
He's staying. I think he's going to use his full eligibility as he can at Texas. They're going to slow pay the living crap out of that because with this amount of pressure on this kid, you want to make sure he's 110% ready. And like on top of this, like Saints are very much a rumored team to have like worst record in the NFL and have like the first pick. Do you really want to go to New Orleans right now?
His grandfather doesn't want him to go to New Orleans. That's for sure.
Exactly. From New Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, his grandfather knows what it's like being for the Saints and not being with a good franchise.
And his uncle forced his way out of LA to go to New York.
San Diego. Yeah.
Or San Diego. Yeah. Like this is a very smart.
I just hope that family can afford to eat if he doesn't go into the draft. I mean, that's a big paycheck that you're turning down. I mean, kind of worry about the financial point. Can they buy groceries?
True.
The family's
it's gonna be a tough Christmas.
Buddy, are you kidding me? Put that up there.
What do you say?
Second to last comment. Do you know how much money he's making in college? Do you know how many girls he's probably getting at Texas? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There's not even anything better than being the quarterback at Texas in all the college sports. What are you talking about? Because of the offense? Come on, dude.
Colt McCoy's still God there.
Dude, Vince Young gets free barbecue in Texas.
Yeah. The worst thing about being the quarterback at Texas is giving away your Texas rust-colored T-shirts to the girl you just slept with as she walks out the door. That's it. You got to find another one. That's all.
Alrighty.
Everything works.
You think you get more girls as a pro quarterback than you do as a college quarterback? I 100% disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree with that too.
That's a great question, though. Anyways, let's do a Dave rant.
Shout out Stuff on Diggs with that pink stuff.
Dude, what the hell's going on over there? Right? Good Lord. Nice culture you got going. It's like everything the opposite of what you want. Man, what is happening over there? All right. My rant was something completely different. I remember what I was upset about today until about an hour ago. I swear to God, if somebody throws a piece of gum on the ground, I'm going to step in it. It's like that is my one thing in life that happens over and over again. I know it could be worse. It could be dog shit, but it's not. It's gum. I step in gum all the time. If you throw gum on the ground, my shoe finds it all the time. Like I'm literally driving home today from where I was just at, and as I'm driving, I look down at my shoe and I'm like, what's sticking out from under my sole? And I see a bunch of like hairs, which is even gross because you know me, I'm a germ guy. I don't like the hair. Other people's hair kind of freaks me out. But then I realize, sure enough, it's a big wad of gum that I stepped in, and I'm like, son of a gun. It happens all the time. Whether I'm coaching baseball, whether I'm walking through the parking lot at Target, no matter where I go. What's wrong with people? Either throw it in the trash or throw it on a roof of a building like a normal person. I do it all the time. Take my gum and just wing it right on top of someone's roof. But good God. What's the deal with just dropping it on the ground? What's wrong with you? You know how hard it is to get gum out of your damn shoe? And you feel like it's there forever. Every time you walk, you feel that stick. I guarantee I'll step in it 3 pieces of gum when I'm with Josh this weekend. It happens all the time to me. Find a trash can, people. What are you doing? This isn't 1977. You just throw your garbage on the ground. It's like that scene in Anchorman. We're just throwing stuff out the window. Back in the day, Mario, that's the way people used to do. Dude, I hate to say it. People used to do it. I remember my dad would do it. Go through a drive-through, finish a Coke, just wing that cup right out of the window. Nobody cared about littering back in the day. It was the most bizarre thing going. But at the same time, all of a sudden, you guys can't control what you have. You have to chuck it on the ground, and I'm the guy that steps in it every time. If I see you doing it, I step in it, I'm going to make you eat it off my shoe. I swear to God, I'm done with it. But that's my rant. It might be weak, but I'm telling you, it happens to me all the time. I'm sincere when saying this. Throw your trash away. It's crazy to me that I step in gum almost 4 times a week. It's nuts.
I still have a friend that in college we were driving and he's, God, dude, my girlfriend's coming. Like, can I clean out my car? I was like, yeah, dude, this thing's disgusting. And I was like on my phone and he's driving and I'm just here like, I just look over and he's just taking stuff and just hurling it out the window. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He goes, I'm cleaning out my car. I go, yeah, on Greencastle City. Like, why? Why are you doing that, man? Just wait until we park and throw it away.
Do you remember that scene in Anchorman? They're walking through the park and they just throw their trash on the ground? Dude, it was so common back in the day. It's ridiculous. I think that's what happened. People just always just gun their trash right in the ground. Yeah, it's nuts. Insane. Absolutely insane. All right, you want to bring JT on, introduce him to the audience?
Oh yeah, JT, let's bring it in, brother. You turn your camera on, turn your mic on. Here we go.
How's it going, everybody?
Wow. The entrance. It's got a stash. Look at this stud.
JT, are you wearing a tie?
I am not wearing a tie, no.
Okay.
Full button up, no tie today.
Okay.
Ooh, I love the full button up.
You're a resident Broncos fan for the summer.
I can't believe it. Do you know this is a Charger show? Like, how did this happen?
You know, I learned it today. As soon as I got on, I was just as shocked as you guys are. I'm sure you may know.
All right,
JT.
time for. Wait, I got a question for JT. All right, because Marty had a chance to talk to him. Just a couple things. One is we got to know who's your favorite Bronco of all time, and who's the Charger you hate the most of all time.
Ooh, good question.
Ooh, favorite Bronco of all time. Got to be either Shannon Sharpe or John Elway. That's the Shannon Sharpe jersey hanging in my closet from when I was a kid.
Ooh.
And then, God, least favorite Charger is a real hard one. I'll give you my favorite first, just because it's LaDainian Tomlinson. Another childhood favorite for sure.
Respect it.
Gosh, least favorite though. I just keep thinking of ones I like. Junior Seau was a linebacker I loved back when I was a kid as well. Shoot. Was never a big Phillip Rivers guy. I'll say it. Never.
Because he trash talked your boy Jay Cutler when he was on the
True.
Broncos.
Ooh, I forgot about that, but I'll cite that as my reason for sure.
Nice.
There you go.
What did you think of Kyle Orton?
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
He
was not a long chapter, certainly not a great chapter. Glad it's over.
Who was the quarterback, Josh? You'll remember. Who was the quarterback that was all ready to go into the game against the Raiders, and then Manning went out there anyway? Was it Osweiler?
It was Osweiler. Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite scenes in NFL history. Finally gets a chance to play, and then he gets his helmet ready to turn around and run out on the field, and Manning's already back out there. He's like, all right, I guess I'm just going to go F myself. And then he's stuck on the bench.
$10,000,000 just to go off and play at Houston. That was one of the worst decisions we made post Manning.
That's funny. Hey, you're to dress more relaxed next show, right? You're making us all uncomfortable.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Yeah, it looks like you're about to knock on my door and sell me Bibles. What's going on here?
That's very true. Yeah. John 16 says.
Yeah.
Love
Exodus 1:11.
Ooh, JT, do you know a Bible verse?
Nope.
You're gonna fit right in. He's gonna fit right in. We
Good.
just make him up like Mario does and keep his mom happy.
That's true. Actually, we should do a Bible verse show. Yeah.
No,
I'll start
we
that next show.
Should not.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. All right, JT. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being here, JT.
Oh yeah, no problem, guys. Happy to be here.
Cool. There you go.
Good.
I wonder what Shannon Sharp jersey he has. Because I wonder if it's the same one that he gave to Joy Taylor. I'm curious.
Oh,
So I was so close to asking a lot of Shannon Sharp questions, but I was like, you know what? That's not a good idea. But glad you went there. Glad you went there, Dave. Glad you decided.
It's all right. It's okay. There you go. All right, we done?
yeah, we're good.
All right, we'll be back on Thursday, 1 o'clock Pacific time. Again, thanks for joining us during the offseason. Again, this is the time of the year where the NFL shuts down for about 6 weeks, so I was happy to have these stories. Also, we'll give you a look in the next show as far as what they say. First-round picks, 2026. Hopefully, we aren't worried about it because we're picking at number 32. That's our goal every year, to pick at number 32. And so we'll tell you where these guys are going. There's one school out there, by the way, that is loaded already in the first round as far as potential picks. I think that school is going to surprise you as we tell you on Thursdays. Please like and subscribe to the show. If you didn't catch the show live, appreciate you guys that did catch the show live. If you have a comment, go ahead and leave them on YouTube. We'll get to those and answer your questions. Great to see so many familiar faces as we normally see. I didn't see Angie today. Saw Leah. I didn't see Angie. Where's she at? Taking 6 weeks off too? Come on.
Pretty disappointing. I'm not gonna lie.
What did you say?
Pretty disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Hopefully,
Give us a heads up. Maybe we don't feel like doing the show, Andrew. Yeah, she missed that part, right? The cheese out of my keyboard that's 8 months old that went flying out. She missed all the good stuff. It is disgusting. That's why I said it. I don't know what to tell you. All right, you guys with the "what's wrong with me" questions, ridiculous. I see B. Hannon with the Royce Freeman deal, absolutely at Imperial. That's a great player, by the way. Back in 2013, great player, not great.
2014 out of high school, he was a stud.
Yeah, kind of fell a little short. There you go. All right, we'll be back. No, Dominic, I don't only remember the girls. I just look at if you weren't here, Dominic, I would have remembered you weren't here. Young West, I saw him. He was here. I saw him complaining about Tanner Scott on social media yesterday. Right with you on that. God dang, Dom, don't get your feelings hurt, Dominic. Remember the guys too. That's the way it goes. We're okay. I'm just saying. Good God. And I got to apologize for not calling everybody out. I'll never do it again. All right. For Mario Heron, Josh Pally, I'm Dave Pally. We'll see you Thursday, 1 o'clock Pacific time. Thanks, everybody.